KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Follow the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
You ready?
It's the queen of royal badness.
It's time for the Raw Report with Robin Ayers.
Highlighting people and things you should know about.
Robin's got you covered. Follow Robin at Robin Ayers. You're listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Robin's got a lot to talk about.
Trapped in this prison of seclusion. Happiness living on the streets is a delusion. Even a smooth criminal one day must get away. All I need is a G and somewhere safe to stay. Kicking, thinking about what the streets do to me. Cause they never taught peace in the black community. All we know is violence. Do the job in silence. Walk the city streets like a rat pack of tyrants. Too many brothers daily headed for the big pen. Sick coming out worse off than when they went in. Over the years I've done a lot of growing up. Get drunk, throwing up, cuffed up. Then I said I had enough.
You are listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580, where we bring you the latest in entertainment news, trending topics, and interviews. I am your host, Robin Ayers. So happy to be with you guys. It is Wednesday. It is Friday Eve. No, it's Friday Junior. I almost messed it up. Shout out to Andy for that one. I hope you are having a lovely, lovely Wednesday, a lovely week, all of the good things. I am, in case you're wondering, I am. In case we haven't talked about it lately, it's day 23, y'all, of my 75 hard. It is day 23. It is going well. I'm happy. I'm, my insides thank me. You know, I've been drinking water. You know what I'm saying? I'm really out here in these streets, y'all. Really out here getting to these workouts. But it is causing my metabolism to speed up, and it causes me to get hotter faster. You know, so I don't appreciate that part. But, you know, all good. Anyway, I feel good. I hope you guys do as well. Yeah, what a day. Still, what a day. What another day. We do have a few, as you guys can see and only imagine, we are talking part 2 of Diddy in a slight way. I mean, there's conversation happening around it. There are obviously a few updates that we've learned overnight. But first, happy birthday to Jada Pinkett Smith. Jada Pinkett, she has sort of disappeared a little bit. I mean, she's kind of off of the map. Good for her. I mean, if that's what she needs. She did upload a video recently. She was on vacation and she seemed to be in her Zen mode. I like it. I'm all about the soft life, Jada. Go ahead and live your life. And I know that she had a very rough and rocky couple of years after her book release, after the news of her and Will Smith. So right now, I hope that she is living her best life. I hope that they are all healthy and happy. So, but, you know, shout out to Jada for her birthday. So we want to give her her flowers while she can smell them. That is very important. I love Jada. By the way, I don't know if y'all knew, but Jada was my, idol. I mean, I really don't have idols, but she was really that girl. When I was in high school and I met her for the first time, I was like, it's Jada. You know, it was a moment. But anyway, we've all come a long way since that moment. I still love her, though. Definitely still love her. So listen, a few things on Diddy. Remember recently I talked about the prisoner, the gentleman who was awarded the $100 million lawsuit. Well, guess what, y'all? A judge overturned that award because this is a Michigan judge. Apparently, the judge says that he didn't find that accuser, that he found that the accuser failed to prove that he was effectively served the lawsuit in accordance with Michigan laws. Can you imagine that you didn't effectively serve the man. So the $100 million that you were so happy that you were awarded has now been overturned. I don't know if there's an appeal that can help this man out. I don't know. I don't know the law like that, but I will certainly keep my eyes and my ears open. So if I find out anything, trust, you will be the first to know. But sadly for him, that has been overturned, and I'm sure very good news for Diddy, because it's not looking good for him right now. So I'm sure that is good news. Also, the woman, if you guys remember that 1999 huge deal where it was a club shooting in New York. Remember, Diddy was a part of that. This woman claims she never let up off of it. She says Diddy is the one who shot her in the face. And one of the guys who was on Diddy's label at the time, he went by the name Shine. We talked about him here on the show as well. He is now an elected official over in Belize, I believe. He's doing some other great things. He's in politics. But yeah, that guy at the time took the fall for it and did a lot of time. He did some years for that. But she claims that it was Diddy who shot her in the face. And she's basically now expressing her complete praise and thanks to God for his arrest. I mean, basically an interesting turn, of events for her. So she's happy about that. But also probably the biggest thing that we heard today, we were waiting on it. Andy, do we have this clip ready to go? Diddy's attorney, he finally spoke out following the news that the bond that they were asking for was denied a second time. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
So we made a bail appeal to Judge Carter. It did not go our way. The fight continues. We're not giving up by a long shot. I told Mr. Combs I'm going to try and get his case to trial as quickly as possible. I'm going to try and minimize the amount of time he spends in very, very difficult and I believe inhumane housing conditions in the special housing unit of the Metropolitan Detention Facility. And I'm going to do everything that I can to move his case as quickly as possible. I understand that the government has a great amount of electronic devices that they have to download and provide to me, but everything's on the government's timetable, nothing's on the defendant's timetable, and they're going to have to accommodate me and him and give us a quick trial, and I'm going to be pushing for that. He's ready, he's focused. He has been ready to defend this case since he first found out about this case. Nothing has changed from his perspective. I obviously would much prefer to fight this case with him out of jail, and we are going to try to bring that about through additional legal process. But wherever he is, his resolve is the same. He believes he's innocent. I believe he's innocent, and we're going to fight this case with all of our might until we don't have to fight any longer. I'm not really going to take any questions, but at this point, we are moving forward. We're preparing for trial as we speak, and we are considering our next steps and appealing the court's ruling today.
So, okay, they're going to appeal it again, he says. I found it very interesting that his attorney used to say, my client is innocent. He went from he is innocent to all of a sudden now the language is my client believes he's innocent and I believe he's innocent. Those are little nuances, but there's something that I'm paying attention to. If you also heard, he called the housing where Diddy is being housed, he called it difficult and inhumane, the facility. Now, I don't know what to think about that, because if you're a criminal, you're a criminal. You deserve to be where you are placed. Now, I do believe that everybody, if you are a human being, you deserve decency and to be treated with decency and some respect. But why should, if he is currently being held, there's reason for him being held and continued detained. If they feel that there's reason to, why should he get any special treatment? Andy, were you saying the same thing?
100%. I mean, look. He's going to get 3 meals a day. He'll be okay. He'll be living better than some people that's not inside the cell. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think we're all, completely right about that. We are, of course, going to continue to talk about Diddy today. Let's just go ahead and get into the Rob Report, Andy.
Now it's time for a breakdown.
there's another rapper, Boosie. Boosie, we just got to talk about it because not that we give Boosie much credence, right? We don't. But he brought up a very interesting point. Boosie says Diddy is only doing what we know other celebrities have done for years. Okay? This is, could it be valid? But obviously there are other things at hand here. We're talking about something totally different. But I do want to discuss this. What is being said? What are people agreeing with? Listen, these are more opinion. This is an opinion-based conversation. We're not talking facts because when you talk about facts, that's getting into law. They have a reason. They are established with why they have brought federal charges against this man. But we will talk about our opinions over the matter because does he have a point here? We'll talk about that. We are also going to talk about Stephen A. Smith and Kevin Frazier, who had a conversation, and they were discussing what happens now. What happens in Hollywood, and we touched on this a bit yesterday, but all the people, think about this, for years, they named 2009 as a substantial year of when a lot of these things started to happen with Diddy. So since 2009, who was there? Who was at these freak-offs? Who were at these parties? Who was there? We want to know. And if they're going to be brought up in this trial, what happens? What happens next? We of course, are going to talk about that. I do have a question for the day. Very quickly, on a side note, do you believe that couples should share their passwords with each other? We'll talk about it. We'll break it down, of course, on the other side. But I got to know from you, do you think couples should share their passwords with each other? I'll tell you who has that question, who talked about it, and I'll give you my thoughts on the other side. You are listening to The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Denzel Whitaker, and I'm on The Rob Report.
You're inside The Rob Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580. Tabitha Smiley's new book, The Covenant with Black America, 20 years later, is now on sale everywhere. This classic text shot to #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list almost 2 decades ago. If you have the original book, you will surely want to get this 20th anniversary edition with powerful new contributions from today's leading voices. This 20th anniversary edition presents a compelling blend of historical insights and contemporary urgency in this critical and unprecedented election year. Get your copy of The Covenant with Black America 20 years later today.
Don't settle for bumps, ingrowns, and itch due to dry skin. Try Venus for pubic hair and skin, the razor and regimen specifically designed for your pubic area, featuring a razor with patented irritation defense bar and skincare regimen that is dermatologist and gynecologist tested. Venus helps protect your pubic skin from shave irritation. Discover the full regimen of products at GilletteVenus.com.
Work is busy. And home? Mom! Pretty much the same. But you wouldn't know it because my skin doesn't look stressed thanks to Olay Retinol Body Wash. Its hydrating formula is packed with vitamin B3 complex plus retinol. I use Olay Retinol Body Wash to transform my skin from dry to moisturized and visibly renewed. Sure, I still have stress, but my skin looks amazing. Try Olay Retinol Body Wash for visibly renewed skin in just 14 days. Also try Retinol 24 Body Lotion.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA CAN also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007, they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles. LA Can believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news.
You're inside the Rob Report.
With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Okay, well, joining us for a second day in the row is Chris Gunther from The Chris Gunther Show. Hello to you, Chris.
What's going on, Robin?
You know, I am good. I am chilling. And I guess I'm maybe even a little bit surprised at this first question that I'm asking over here. So I got to ask you, you are a married man. Do you believe that passwords should be shared with couples, each other? Do you think that they should share each other's passwords?
I believe that passwords need to be shared when you married, not when you're dating. When you're married, what's mine is yours, what's yours is mine. When we marry as one, whatever you want, yep, go right ahead. But if you just my girlfriend, absolutely not.
All right, no problem. And then I guess the question is, this came from Tammy Roman, who was, as we know, she used to be a basketball wife. She is now an actor. She acts and she does many other things, business and things like that. And she's now married, and she's discussing whether she feels like, okay, fine, we could have each other's passwords, but it's saying more about trust than anything. And sure, that may make the other person feel secure, but do you even trust if you have to look inside your partner's stuff? Just because you have the password, does that mean you don't trust them if you go looking for it? That's what they're discussing over there. I thought it was a very interesting conversation. Andy?
Kind of like a prenup a little bit.
What, the password?
No, I'm just saying, like, the trust aspect of things. You know what I mean? Like, some people feel like, well, if you want to bring up a prenup, then you don't trust me fully.
Oh, gotcha.
So kind of similar. But I like what Brother Forrest Harrison had to say. Couples should have 3 accounts: my account, your account, and our account.
Cuts down any drama. Now, that sounds like a financial account. I don't know, but because that sounds strange. Why would I have an email account? You have an email account, and then we have I can't lie. Me and my husband do have that, but we had a together account when we got married. I mean, before we got married. So it was, I don't know. We don't even use that account anymore. So anyway, it's an interesting question. I feel like there's more legs to it than that. But we will leave this question up here for you guys to continue to vote on. But Chris, for you and I feel like we should just jump into this conversation about Diddy. This is part 2, day 2 of discussing all these things. Listen, people are talking, okay? And Boosie, I know he's not necessarily someone who we should be giving a lot of credence to, but he did bring up, I get it. He doesn't necessarily, we don't take him very seriously, but he did bring up something that I thought was pretty interesting. I'm going to read what he said, and then let's have a conversation about it. He says, I feel Diddy's in jail. I'm gonna correct it. I'm gonna correct the English, all right, y'all, because the way he wrote it ain't the way I'm speaking. He says, I feel Diddy's in jail for basically doing what every other famous entertainer has done. Flew women out for threesomes. He's just freakier. We actually gonna call women prostitutes who fly in willingly to be with their partners for sex. If that's the case, if you've been flued out, and you've had sex, you should be labeled a prostitute. If that's the case, that's 80% of women reading this. In trafficking, you're a celebrity. You got to fly, basically, people in. How else are you going to get it? Okay, he goes on, but you understand the point that he's making. Here's the thing, Chris. He's saying something that a lot of men have said for years. This has been a conversation for years. They're saying, and I know that there are different sides to this. We're talking about trafficking and, transportation to participate or engage in prostitution. So there's another side. There's racketeering, all of that. But what he's saying has been argued for years. They're saying that any woman, if you've accepted any form of payment, such as a gift, nowadays you got women talk about buy me bags, cash at me a certain amount of money, then you would be considered doing the same thing as Diddy. Do you think that has any legs whatsoever?
Not at all. And here's why I got to say no to that. We have to really break down what Boosie just said compared to what Diddy has actually did. He has been saying, well, y'all get through all the time doing X, Y, and Z. Yeah. However, did any of those incidents end in somebody getting punched and getting kicked and getting shown on camera the damage that has been done to another human being? So absolutely not. I'm not saying that Boosie is wrong with what he's trying to say, but trying to compare that in this situation is asinine. Then again, I'm not surprised because this is what Boosie does.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a conversation that Andy and I were having earlier. Boosie has been known to be
a troll. That's what he is.
A troll. But I would even say inappropriate, even when it comes to his own children. Is that a fair word to use? Andy, what's the word that you would use?
He goes against the grain.
Yeah, he does go against the grain, but I'm talking about this inappropriate manner in which he conducts with his children when it comes to sexual acts. He has hired someone or gotten some way. He has acquired a woman for his 14-year-old son. He's engaged in a lot of different things, and he's like, if I want my son to do it, I want it to be done right, type of thing. He's done that, and so he's not the best example. He's not the forefront. We do not nominate you as the person who should speak on behalf of other celebrities, but to that, I mean, you are absolutely right, Chris. I mean, the fact that Diddy has been violent and he's used like other means of threatening manners and things like that to sort of get these people involved. What would you say about that? The fact that he says people willingly go. They willingly go. So even before there is a threat, because these people are in other states, we know this by now because they talk about how they bring he's hired sex workers from other places and brought them into his state. Does that have any legs? What I'm trying to do is open this up and look at it for people who are thinking that this is too excessive. Does it matter that these people willingly went?
It does matter that they willingly went, because once you willingly go to that, you understand what you're signing yourself up for. However, nobody would ever sign themselves up to get physically abused by a person that they're trying to have that kind of consensual act with. The part that's very weird as I look back over it, it does make me wonder what was their MO behind it. But it also makes me sit back and look at everything that's been happening with Diddy to the point where I can say this. It's sad, but it's the truth. You went out there because you were trying to basically have sex. We get all of that. But you didn't go out there to become a punching bag to somebody. You didn't go out there to all of a sudden get abused, etc. So it just seems like this entire situation, Boosie was trying to, and I don't want to ever put words in somebody's mouth, but it seems like he was trying to sit up here and defend Diddy with something that you can't defend, because we all saw on camera what this man did.
To that, a follow-up question to that, we know now there a little bit more information is in fact coming out about Cassie and that night that we all saw, the one that you just referenced. In 2016, there was that incident that happened at the hotel, and they're saying that they have evidence now that there was actually a sex worker present, that the day before there was a freak off and a sex worker was present. Cassie was there, and she was actually trying to escape from that the following day. That's what they're claiming as a part of their evidence in what's going to be this upcoming trial. Many people, though, have condemned Cassie for sticking around, and with not only Cassie but anybody else for that matter who sort of seems like they've continued to enable him to do what he was doing. Is that an unfair thing to kind of pin against Cassie or whomever else?
It's horrible to pin that against Cassie because she really was helpless in that situation. This was a young girl who was promised everything in this industry. And what better person that can help you than the guy who was one of the biggest at the time? But we also have to understand here, when you're young, you don't know any better. Cassie had no idea the kind of monster that she was getting ready to be affiliated with, and she was signed to Bad Boy, so legally she couldn't just leave him and do anything. But where Puffy messed up at was he was mixing business with pleasure, and we saw over and over the things that he was doing. And now that it's all coming out, we can't blame Cassie, but what we can do is commend her for finally speaking out. And there's an old saying that they used to say when I was playing basketball and our coaches would have us sit down and watch film. The film don't lie. You can say you ain't do it all day, every day. Once we see it on that tape, it's over with. Mm-hmm. So in this situation, the film didn't lie. He can say all day he didn't do it. We saw what happened.
Yeah, we definitely saw what happened. It's interesting. Like, this whole thing is just blowing my mind, and I think I'm still trying to process it all because, again, we talked about the fact that there's this mogul who is now we're watching the downfall of him, but we actually spoke with Whitley Yates yesterday, who is a contributor on this show, but she actually used to work for Diddy and his family. And when I used a part of what she was saying for Instagram yesterday, I put it on socials, and it boggled my mind how many people had things to say about her or anybody else who stuck around Diddy. I do want to go down that road just a little bit and talk about it. The interesting point of views that we all have, not having majority of these people have not even met the man, have not even been around the man. We only see, and we've seen what we saw on the video, and then we've only heard the rest. But people are condemning people like Whitley or anyone else for that matter. We're going to talk about that, of course, on the other side, but also what happens next with all these other people who are about to be named. You can't tell me that there aren't going to be some prominent people named in this trial. What happens to them and what's going to happen to Hollywood as a whole? We'll talk about it on the other side. Right now, though, we've got news, traffic, and sports. You are listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
What's up, everybody? It's Simeon Jays, and I'm chilling with Robin Ayers on the Raw Report.
More of the Raw Report with Robin Ayers when we come forward.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Vice President Kamala Harris is spending lots of time in Philadelphia. Harris was in town for an interview with the National Association of Black Journalists on Tuesday. Her visit came on National Voter Registration Day and a week after her debate with former President Donald Trump. President Joe Biden was also in Philly on Monday. A new study out of Boston shows that Black women are much more likely than white women to die of breast cancer. Researchers at Mass General Hospital found that Black women are 40% more likely than Caucasian women to succumb to breast cancer, including the most treatable types. After analyzing 18 studies involving 230,000 patients, Black and white, they've concluded that it's not biology that's driving the statistic. It's racial disparities, such as the cost of hormonal therapy that must be taken for 5 years or more. They say many more Black women than white women are uninsured and can't afford to pay out of pocket. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Enjoy the start of your night. In Arcadia, a car and motorcycle-involved accident blocks the carpool lane of the 210 East at Baldwin Avenue. Right now, there's over 20 minutes of heavy traffic running heavy from Colorado Street. Stalls being cleared from Pomona's 10 East before Fairplex Drive, and watch for a slight delay running heavy from Kellogg. In West Covina's 10 East before Citrus Street, watch for an accident causing some slowing from Vincent Gulch Avenue, Glendora Split on the right shoulder. Also, heavy traffic on the 101 North in downtown before Alameda Street is caused by an accident and a 15-minute backup running heavy from the 5.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Is this the time? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Officials at Grambling State University are expecting a sellout crowd for Saturday's home football game against Jackson State. It's the first time the SWAC rivals have played each other at Grambling since Deion Sanders brought Jackson State to Grambling in 2020. Grambling's Eddie Robinson Stadium has a capacity of 19,600. This is the first SWAC conference game this season for both HBCU teams. Grambling and Jackson State are 2-1 in non-conference games. More details on this game in our college football preview on Friday. Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert did not practice Wednesday, leading to concerns about his status for Sunday's game at Pittsburgh. Herbert suffered an ankle injury in Sunday's win at Carolina. Chargers coach Jim Harbaugh said Herbert is feeling better, but gave no confirmation on whether Herbert will play. Stay tuned. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Follow the leader.
Following the leader.
Oh my God. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Mark your calendar for October 2nd. It's California Clean Air Day. When you go Metro, you'll enjoy free rides and help clear the air. We can reduce pollution and create a healthier environment together. Let's all ride for a cleaner tomorrow. Start your journey at metro.net.
This is 60.
And that chill in the air means one thing. It's truck season!
Just 5 more minutes.
No snoozing. You've got so much to do. So do it all in a Chevy Colorado or Silverado, including the HD or class-leading 440-mile range of the Silverado EV.
Wait, what? Are you talking to me?
Yes! Picture it. Work, play, hauling gear, off-roading. A Chevy truck can take whatever you can throw at it, including tailgating in an actual tailgate!
I mean, homecoming is just around the corner. Oh, and showing up in a new truck?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Get things done and look good doing it.
Okay, I'm up. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Without offering me a ride? That's cold.
Head to your local Chevy dealer and get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 and Colorado pickups when you finance with GM Financial. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 24.5%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available at least in some of the offers. Taking retail delivery by 9/30/24.
If you say you care about the community, you have to also care about the climate. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black. KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Keeping you informed about what's really going on.
Who's got next?
And what not to miss in entertainment. You're listening to The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
これからみんなでめちゃくちゃ踊って騒ごう騒ごう。
Headbanger. Hit me. Hit me. Give me some news. Give me some news. Mississippi putting it down. I'm the hottest round. I told y'all mother. Y'all can't stop me now. Listen to me now. I'm lasting 20 rounds. And if you want me, then come on get me now.
You are listening to The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Come on and join us for the second half of this conversation. It is Diddy Part 2. Diddy Day 2, y'all. He was denied again. He was denied a $50 million bond. He was willing to do everything. He was willing to have an ankle bracelet on, not go anywhere. He was willing to not have any female visitors to his home. He was willing to do all of these things. Obviously, he's already surrendered his passports. His children, they surrendered their passports. The judge still said no. They felt that the government had already proven, the state proved that he was too risky, not necessarily a flight risk, but they were saying, we can't guarantee that you won't contact these witnesses, which we know that he's already tried to do. He has already been accused of coercion. And we gave an example yesterday. He was talking to Kalina Harper. She's also from his former group, Dirty Money. He called her 54 times after another former member of their group, Dawn Richard. She filed a lawsuit against him, alleging battery and sexual assault. And she named Kalina in this lawsuit. She named her 33 times. She mentioned her 33 times in this lawsuit. She also named other people who had been witnesses to them, or to whatever she claims Diddy had done. And he said, not on my watch. He called Kalina 54 times. And then as a result, what we see is Kalina put out her own statement. She says, while I respect Dawn and her truth, that simply isn't my truth. So she was a little ambiguous about her statement, but it seemed as though she was trying to just stay out of it, right? Give Diddy what he wanted by disassociating herself, but still respecting Dawn at the same time. So point is, we've seen that Diddy has the power to coerce certain witnesses or people who could very possibly be called to testify against him. And the judge just wasn't having it. So we are on the line with Chris Gunther, and we're continuing to talk about this and what happens, right? What is the next step for Hollywood? What happens? And we were also talking about the fact that Boosie was saying he believes that these charges of racketeering, these charges of sex trafficking and transportation to engage in prostitution, he feels like they're all excessive because Diddy, according to him, hasn't done anything differently than a lot of these other celebrities out here. Chris, you said not the case because, Diddy, he has violence in there. That's your reason.
Sure does.
Okay. I think there's a point to that. Andy, what do you say?
I mean, I think what Lil Boosie tweeted was very telling, too. I mean, considering the fact that he said that a lot of other entertainers engage, right? Mm-hmm. He didn't go into specifics. But if you're going to call out other people, we're already questioning who are the other people involved with Diddy and whatnot. Low key, what's up with Farnsworth Bentley? I ain't heard from him in a long time, and he was his right-hand man.
I think there's a reason why we're not hearing from him.
I'm just saying.
I think there's a reason why we ain't hearing from him.
Farnsworth Bentley, some would have called him Diddy's assistant. Some would have called him his right-hand man at some time for years. He had been almost to a point of prominence himself. He had gotten, I believe, a television show. He had a lot of success after being associated with Diddy, but we haven't heard from Farnsworth in years. It's almost as though he just dropped off. Now, I did see him along the way somewhere. I don't even remember where, but he disappeared. And, we don't know. We don't know who's going to be called out. It leads to this conversation, though, that Stephen A. Smith and Kevin Frazier, both I feel are great guys in this industry and important voices in this industry. Well, they had a conversation with one another, and they're questioning what happens now and what happens after some names they are inevitably going to be called in this trial. Let's take a listen to a part of this conversation and talk about it.
Are the folks in Hollywood lying back in wait, wondering who's next? If you have workers that you can target and they can be punished, it's presumed they're going to dime him out, and ultimately they're going to force him to comply. And Diddy is going to dime out a whole bunch of people. It seems like that's what everybody's waiting for right now.
There have been other big names that have been associated and flirted around this.
But what about the other people who attended these events and these parties and these freak-offs? This is going to be ugly. There's going to be reverberations throughout Hollywood, because even if you didn't attend, if you knew, if you saw, if you understood what was going on, years and years ago, I was at a party for a very high-profile star, and his people had Diddy removed from that party because they said he was out of control. The information is there. Now it's just how much of that information is going to come out.
This is kind of what we were talking about yesterday. I have this feeling, Chris, not only with this case, not only with the cases of, Epstein and Harvey Weinstein, and not just those guys, these executives, these high-powered people, not just that, but a lot of things that we're starting to see in Hollywood, it seems to be dissipating. So there's a lot of people in the industry already who are taking their resources and they're uprooting and going to other states. So you see a lot of sound stages being built in other places. Obviously, Atlanta, you have New Orleans, Louisiana, Las Vegas is another. People are going down south to Houston and other parts of Texas. It seems as though there is this big movement happening. Do you feel, I know you don't live here, but sometimes it's better to not live in LA and see things with a different kind of eye. What do you see happening for Hollywood, just in terms of the business side, but also some of these executives who are being condemned and being locked up and even dying, some of them? What do you feel like is going on in Hollywood?
I really feel that Hollywood is going to get exposed to how dark it can really be for some of us. I believe 1,000,000,000% that a lot of people's dirt, we all have skeletons in our closet. And I really believe that Hollywood skeletons are all about to start coming out little by little. But I just got to go ahead and call a spade, though. I hope that it's not just the black entertainers that are getting exposed. Because if they're going to expose us, they should expose everybody. Because at the end of the day, we understand what's wrong is wrong and what's right is right. And I just believe this. If they're going to expose Diddy, they need to expose everybody else that's doing exactly what he's doing and hold them accountable, because it's jacked up. It's completely jacked up what Puffy has done. But let's not make it seem like he's the only person that's done something. I'm sure the whites have done something. I'm sure everybody else has done something. So if you're going to do it for one, do it for all.
Yeah, but does it matter that he was sort of the ringleader in a lot of it?
See, it doesn't matter for me, though. It doesn't matter that he was the ringleader. It matters that he got caught. Since he got caught, somebody else clearly is doing the same exact thing he's doing. And it's only a matter of time before their, issues and whatnot get out. I just think ultimately, if you're going to do it for one, you got to do it for all. And if you're going to take down Puffy and take down somebody else that's just as powerful, if not more powerful than Puffy, who is white, who is Asian, who has another, type of background, because you can't just do it to the blacks. You got to do it to everybody. You can't just...
You seem to be breaking up a little bit, Chris, but I'll say this. I hear you and I agree with you. Sometimes I feel as though, all right, let me choose my words carefully. All right. Just say it. All right. I do feel as though everybody sort of engages in some kind of acts, right? We don't know. I'm not in anybody's business, and I'm certainly not there. But I do think that there's a line that you can cross where you become too engaged or too powerful, or you feel like you're too invincible, and you do have too much money in order to quiet down other people. It goes to this whole accountability factor. We're talking about how accountable should we hold the other people who were around, and that goes to what I was talking about with Whitley. When I posted the clip last night on my social media, she got so much backlash because people were saying, oh, well, you worked for the man, you worked for him and his children. Why did you stay around? But I just had to let somebody know in the comments. I'm like, you also don't know the situation. You don't know how, when she started to see the situation, when she started to see anything with him, if she saw anything. And so I think we need to be careful when we're accusing people who did stay around. I think there are two levels to it. You do have people who enabled him, people he was able to pay off, people he was able to, promise careers to. And then there's other people who really didn't see too much. Maybe they didn't like his use of power, but it wasn't overwhelming to the point that we need to hold them accountable. Does that make sense?
It does. 100% it does. I just hope that when this is all said and done, we can all look at ourselves and take accountability for our actions. In his case, he's going to have a whole lot of time to think about what he's doing because that man is going to jail.
Yeah. No, I definitely believe you on that. But another question for you, Chris, do you feel like this new thing that we're seeing with Diddy, I feel like Diddy is the Goliath. I feel like he is the guy. I mean, we saw what happened with Bill Cosby, but Bill Cosby, number one, was of, I hate to make it sound like this, but of a different era. We love Bill Cosby, but it was of a different era. We saw R. Kelly, but it still wasn't, R. Kelly was still not as, he was powerful, certainly powerful and certainly an icon to us, but not as much power as Diddy had. Diddy was an employer to people, many people. He had a record label. He was a high-powered mogul. He was beyond a music executive. He was a mogul. So to watch watch what's going on with him, I feel like he is sort of that big, that figure, right? And if they can take him down, I feel like this might set a new precedent for how we operate with people, how we do hold other people accountable. Do you agree with that things might change because of Diddy being taken down?
I do believe that things are going to start changing. I believe he's the example. He was the guy that they were going to use as the domino effect. And I will not be surprised if I start hearing rumors about other people. If I start hearing rumors about other moguls, and all I know is this. Cat Williams said it best in January. And he was talking about all liars are going to be exposed. And he said, I got receipts for everything. We've been hearing stuff about Diddy for the longest time. Now it's coming to light. I'm pretty sure he is not going to be the last person that's going to get the light shed on them for some of the stuff that they was doing.
You might be right about that. Well, that's part 2. We don't know if there's going to be a part 3. I don't know that there will be, just because we don't know what will come out over the days. But I promise you we will talk about it on this show if it needs to happen. Chris Gunther, I appreciate you so much for joining us today. Let everybody know where they can find you online.
You can find me online at Chris Gunther. Be sure to check out my website, The Chris Gunther Show. And you can also catch me on the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Peace and love, y'all. God bless.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your night. All right. Well, when we come forward, we're going to get to some music. All right. We're going to loosen it up a little bit and play a Who's Got Next. On the other side, you're listening to KBLA Talk 1580. Stay there.
What's up, people? It's your boy Harmony H. Money Samuels, and I'm here on the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580. What's up?
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
October 2nd is California Clean Air Day. Go Metro for free and help cut down on pollution and traffic. It's our way of thanking you because every ride makes a difference. Let's clear the air together. Ready to go right now? Head to metro.net.
Hi, this is Councilman Curran Price, inviting you to be part of our city's legendary musical history at the 29th Annual Central Avenue Jazz Festival on September the 21st from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. For decades, the Central Avenue Jazz Festival has honored this historic corridor's unparalleled contribution to jazz. Enjoy a day filled with jazz, blues, and Latin jazz across 3 stages, featuring performances by Chief Ajua, the John Beasley Big Band, and Las Chicas. Indulge in a variety of delicious foods from barbecue to Asian fusion, and explore from a unique mix of vendors and more. The festival is free to attend, and it takes place on Central Avenue between King Boulevard and Vernon Avenue. parking is limited, so Metro and rideshare are recommended. For more information, visit centralavejazzfest.com. That's centralavejazzfest.com. See you on the 21st.
Tips to help improve basic steps for building a budget in 2024. Building a budget can help you achieve and reach your financial goals. With a budget, you can keep track of your spending, avoid and get out of debt, limit overspending, pay bills on time, and build solid savings habits. What's the best way to get started? Figure out how much to set aside for expenses, like rent, mortgage, bills, groceries, and entertainment. Understanding your past financial habits can help you make the proper adjustments for your budget. Adjusting to a budget can take time as you work to find the right balance, but keep working on it. For more financial health tips, visit chase.com or stop by a local branch. This segment is sponsored by J.P. Morgan Chase & Company.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news. You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Well, it looks like 83% of you feel like we are about to see the downfall of more people. We will wait and see this trial. His attorney says that he's trying to make this trial happen very soon. So we will see. We will keep you posted. But right now, let's go ahead and get to this. Who's got next? This is Shreda. The song is called Cruise. Check it out. Shrita. This is Shrita called Cruise. She's got a great voice. I saw her on social media, and what a beautiful voice she has. I think she is up and coming. That is Who's Got Next today. Y'all, this conversation that you're all having inside of the YouTube chat, y'all going in with a lot of great things, by the way. I hear you. I believe that a lot of names will come out in this trial. I don't know if Diddy is going to be the one who's singing the names or not. This is going to be very telling. What if he takes the stand? What if he doesn't take the stand? What will that all mean? And also, maybe it doesn't come from Diddy. Maybe it comes from some of the other witnesses who participated or were forced into some of these freak-offs. What if they name other people? I just don't know. I mean, I simply don't know. I think more than anything, I'm going to be completely shocked if he beats these charges. I'm going to be completely shocked if that happens. But like Whitley said yesterday, the attorneys in New York, in that office there in Southern New York, I believe she said they have a 98% success rate. And so they wouldn't have brought these charges against him if they didn't believe that they would win. I believe that to be the case. I definitely believe that to be true. Harvey Weinstein, by the way, I see Fahima Sek says that he is serving a 23-year prison sentence. From what I understand, even he very recently was some more charges have been brought up against him while he's serving time. I don't know the details of that. I don't know where we are in that whole process, but it's just a lot, y'all. It's just a lot to process. There's a lot happening. But I'm trying to pay close attention to everything so that I can bring it to you guys, because I know information happens all the time, but we get it from a lot of different places. My job is to bring it all together, consolidated here, straight for you on the Raw Report. So that's what I'm trying to do. Well, it's been another great discussion. Thank you to Chris Gunther for joining me today. You already know there's another great show coming up. That is Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. He is coming up right now. Make sure you join me again tomorrow, Friday Eve, as we do another hot show. I'm not sure if we're going to have Diddy news or not, but I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys join me tomorrow. I appreciate you so much. My name is Robin Ayers. Remember today and every single day forward to be a blessing.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Sean Diddy Combs will remain detained until he goes on trial for sex trafficking and racketeering charges. The hip-hop and business mogul was back in federal court in Manhattan on Wednesday to appeal Tuesday's decision that he be held without bail. Combs' lawyers pointed out the horrific conditions of the Brooklyn Detention Center where he's being held and proposed he be released on $50 million bail.